Are you ready for part 3? Here we go. Got it going on here. We got ourselves a piece of pipe I showed you. Nice brand new one. Hooked up, positive. This is what it looked like before. Well, the other one for part 2. I had to clean it up a little bit so I could get the copper wire back off of it so I can put it on the other one. But this is what happens to the metal when it, the bad piece of metal that you're getting rid of to try to get something like this. Alright, now I clean this up a little bit with a wire brush, and there's not going to be a patent date from what I can tell, or a name on it. And if you look right there, it's not welded. It's one solid slab piece of metal altogether. So I'm thinking it's probably a blacksmith's hammer, being how heavy it is, and he probably made his own. But these are the style hammers they use for beating on metal. They also use it for, this was probably used to have a little point to it, or doing rocks. Breaking rocks apart and smashing them and looking for ore, gold, silver, whatever. But of course this was in New York, so probably not. It's probably just a, and see, it's got a little, where it got broken, there's a little tail on it. Right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. A little tail right there, so I'll probably have to grind that off. And then I'll probably have to grind this down to make it all, because right now it's real moist metal. And I'm probably going to paint it black Rust-Oleum, but that's going to be the process as I'm doing it. I got the screw here so we can kind of get it up out of the water. We'll move it like this time, and then we'll hook up this clip. See if I can get to it. Oh, there goes the camera. It's all wrapped around the wires. Sorry. Anyways, we'll take this negative lead and try to make a connection here. Let's move it down so you can actually see it. And try to make a connection on it. A good connection. Probably a little higher right there. Alright. Alright. And then we take some water. And as I said, I'm using an 18-volt power supply for a computer that we don't have anymore. And separated the wires, positive, negative. And use it as a thing. Now we're going to take the water. We're just going to go just enough above the hammer. Now, as you're doing this, the water is going to evaporate because you're putting electricity into the water, and it's going to cause it to heat up and evaporate. And if you're going to leave it in too long of a period of time, you might have to add a little bit more water. But this is probably going to be the last time I do this, third time around. Usually that's about what it takes me to do axe heads and horseshoes and stuff like that, about 2 or 3 times, just to get it down to the metal, not to get not the rust on it. And as you can see, it's all pitted. Not much you can do about that. As far as cleaning it up, even when I grind this down, the handle, of course you can't see it now because let me move over here a little bit. Yeah, even though I can grind this handle down, then I'm probably going to either black tape the handle, because your hand's going to turn black because of the metal itself. Soft iron. And like I said, get it all cleaned up so it's actually can be used again for beating on things. Probably give this a little bit of a point again. Like I said, you'll see it when I get the finished product, and then try to make this as short as possible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plug it in. Okay. And yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying water and electricity don't mix. Yeah. Seriously, no, I believe the same thing. Water and electricity don't mix. But this actually does work. It creates a positive and negative using the water. But it takes 1 amp to kill you. Up to 1 amp. Anyways, you have to have at least an amp to do some damage to you. So you're just going to get a little tingle shock out of it, kind of like putting your tongue on a 9-volt battery. Who does that anymore, right? To test the battery out. And we take some baking soda. I already got it plugged in, so we'll see how this, see if we can get a reaction going. And I'm just going to put enough in there where I feel like it's going to be worthwhile. Just to get a good reaction to it. And I'm going to add some salt. I got a stirring stick, but I'm going to use my finger and see if we can start getting it to bubble. Now you didn't get to see this in the second part. You didn't get to see it in the first part. Well, now the third part, I'm going to get it so you can see it. Then we're going to leave it on there for 12 hours. Take it off. Show you what it turned out to be like. See if we got a chemical reaction yet, and electricity. Yeah, you can start seeing it's bubbling right there. And then you should see, turn it this way a little bit. It'll be bubbling over here this way. You're starting to see it bubble. And what it's doing is putting electricity through that hunk of metal. Now the size of this metal should be, that should be the same size as this metal or close to it for mass reasons. And this water is going to get all mucky and brown and blackish brown, and it's going to foam up. You're not going to see it once it gets doing that, but you can see right there. Look at that. It's doing its job. Add just a little bit more baking soda. And then the salt is a big salt rusts everything, doesn't it? But it can be used as a cleaner. I mean, I don't recommend you sticking your fingers in there and worrying about if you got a cut. You're gonna feel a tingle, a little sensation. And you don't have to do a lot of salt. Oops. There you go. I beat on it. Okay. I'm happy with it. And we're going to go with it for 12 hours. I'm going to turn it off. And as you can see the process of what it's doing. So there's no reason for me to run it for umpteen minutes to show you the reaction, because you're already seeing it. But before I clean it up, I'll pull it back out. This might be a little longer video, but it'll give you more of an insight of how I did it, and, you know, how and why it works. But it's like an sonic cleaner for jewelry and stuff, except that's using vibration. This is making the electricity go through it, which is causing vibration and breaking all the rust off. One guy asked me about doing coins, or he was planning on using his coins. I said, I don't suggest that. You can do it, but a very short period of time and a smaller voltage power supply. So, especially if it's a coin that they do it for silver and gold. You know, like gold treasure ships that are sunk, and they pull up all the silver and the big chunks of, you know, mounds of silver, big chunks like a coral reef, and they use electrolysis to loosen up the coins from each other, as well as gold. It's not that they're rusting, it's just, well, there's even iron on the ship and stuff that will rust around and stuff. Also, you can use electrolysis to rescue, you're still using chemicals, kind of like scrapping, backyard scrapping does, but you use electrolysis to actually recover gold off from circuit boards and stuff. It's pretty cool how it, you know, kind of, he uses the copper, which does a drop that way. Well, you can also do a drop using electrolysis. But I've seen it. I've seen a couple of videos of them doing it like that. So there you go. Let's hang up there. It's been 12 minutes, and try to keep it under 25-30 minutes. You know me, sometimes it's just a little more information than I you know, I have to keep going. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Third segment, second part of the video here, and as you can see, if you remember what the pipe looked like before it went in, look, it's got all these barnacles on it now. It's rusting out. That's your sacrificial metal, and then it turns green because it's copper. This is real thick, like 10 gauge or more, like 8 gauge maybe wire, copper wire. And I wrapped it around there, got it real tight, made a real good connection. But yeah, there's the piece of crap set there. That's on the towel, and from what I see of this hammer, it's looking good. And no, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a name there, but it's got some interesting marks right there, but nothing you can read out. So what I'm going to do is hang up this video, and like I said, it's really good. I'm going to grind it now that I get off all the crap, and my hands are going to turn black because it's iron. And then this has to be baked under a usually a gas grill works great. Just bake this to get the moisture out of it, because any moisture in the metal, because iron is porous and it'll stay wet for quite a while, but it'll help dry it out quicker and heat it up. And then I'm going to apply paint, and I gotta get this burr off. There's a burr on it at the end, and I'm gonna probably use black tape since I don't have any shrink wrap boot. I would have done shrink wrap boot on it. Get the point back into shape, flatten this out a little bit more, get rid of the where it's been beat on. You can see the metal is molded out. So that's my next step. So I'll get back to you when part 3 of the video comes on. Thank you. See you in a minute. Alright, Oldies and Goodies here. Good news, I am done with that hammer. As far as I'm concerned, it is done. No, I did not get a date on it. I have no idea when it was made. I do know that it was at least hand forged, so it's 1800s. And it's a solid shank of metal. And you've seen me electrolysing it. I wish I had shrink boot. That was instead of this black tape that I put on, which is 2 solid rows of black tape. Okay, just so it's easy to handle. It's got 3 coats of Rust-Oleum on it. Now I did, if you look, I grinded some of it down. There you go. Get a picture of it. And this hammer is what my sister found, and she was still going to use it. So yeah, it's a hammer. It's a tool. It's repurposed back into a tool. I got rid of that little chunk of metal right there. This is all been grinded down. It's everything. There's no burrs on it. You can see all the deformative metal there. All these little divots. It would take me forever to grind it down to a solid piece of metal again. I mean, this thing is like 4 pounds. 4 at the most. Okay? I got a 4-pound sledge, and this weighs just as much as that. So there you go. That's the end result of the hammer I've been electrolysing. And I was hoping there might have been something on there, but after a while, we're thinking that it might be Dino from Backyard Scrapping. It might actually be a tool for a blacksmith that he made, that he used on pounding metal. I'm pretty much apt to agree with that. But I found it in a park, which is an old area that I find old shotgun shells and lead, you know, in a park. Yeah, we're talking years ago when they used to be shoot and everything else. So this was a tool of choice back in the day too. You can't pull nails with it or anything, but I don't. You can find this hammer on the internet, but every one of them that I found had a wooden handle, and it went through just like a regular hammer. This is older than that, so yeah. But yeah, a shrink boot would have been better. You just heat it up with a propane torch, and because the black tape, after it gets all hot and stick, it'll start getting sticky, and it's just nasty. But for now, that's what it is. So everybody have a great weekend. It's coming up. Okay, Oldies out.